Well, they're working on the power lines. I think they're relocating, or maybe they're not. I don't know what they're doing. But it's pretty extensive. Look at all the stuff that's going on here. Anyway, we are off to drop Phoenix off for his second day of school.
Not actual school, orientation school.
That's what I was going to say, it's orientation. So it was yesterday, and then today, and then he's back to summer vacation until he goes back to school at the end of the month. Because we've got lots of stuff to do. We've got a hike to do. And I heard, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I heard that the hike that we're going on with to see the Perseid meteor showers, there's a possibility, and I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a possibility that we might also see the northern lights, which would be really, really cool to see the northern lights and meteors at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we've got Canada too. Canada!
Canada!
So the question of the day, how is Troy going to mount these toolboxes? Well, the first problem that I encountered is that this right here is a snap-on box, and this is a Craftsman box. A Craftsman box is a different height, so with the wheels on this one here, bringing it up like this can actually hang off of here. Well, since this is actually higher than this now that I've taken the wheels off of this one down here, it will no longer hang. So I've taken the hanging part of it off of there so that we can butt them up next to each other. That's just fine, but now we have the offset of the front to the rear. The reason why this has to be away from the wall is to give this adequate space up here so that I can open it. I can't take this off of this because this right here, opening and closing, is part of the security feature of the box. So, lid needs to stay on. Those two are attached. This one needs to butt up here. Now, I can't move this toolbox over more because I had actually wanted to make my little center here, since space is so precious, I wanted to make it a little skinnier here. It doesn't need to be so wide. All I need is a printer and a computer. But I can't bring this box over more, and I don't want a huge tech station, and it just makes sense that this is here, so I don't know. Apparently, I want to have a larger tech center, but that just means that I can have cabinets or something up above, including over here. I can actually have a cabinet that spans this whole distance over here, so that space won't be lost. These are just thoughts that are going through my head. The other thought that's going through my head, these are where the handles used to attach on the side of the box right here. So I'm actually going to take I think at this point, I want to take a piece of metal, I'm going to bring it here and make an L out of it. Going to attach it here and here on both sides of the box. So hopefully that will give it some pull, or so it's not going to tip over, along with 4 mounts on the ground. Should make this extremely sturdy. I just don't want there to ever be any questions. So I'm also going to use a security wrap. I pulled this cargo strap holder from back there. I'm going to mount it up here, probably right about there, and I want to take a wire, a metal wire, stranded braided metal wire, and run it. You can't see now that I've moved that out of the box, but this channel right here goes all the way through, so I'm going to run it all the way through and put it over here, and then I'm going to use some of those things you twist to make stuff tighter, for lack of a better term. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about it. I'm figuring it out. Oh, those could be dangerous. Maybe I should take care of those. Bye, guys. And just like that, it's time to pick up Phoenix. So here we go. All right, so I got a bunch of stuff that I think that I needed. Made sure to grab the receipt in case I don't need it, and I can bring it back and get the stuff that I do need, that I don't know that I need yet. Back from Lowe's, so my logic, which I really, really hope is not flawed. Well, first of all, let's tell a little story. Story time. Years and years and years ago, I was working at a shop, and some guy was doing an oil change on a car, and it was on a rack. It wasn't in a pit. So he lifted the car up on the rack, and he had this oil container underneath it. As he let the car down, he didn't realize the oil container was still there, and it hit, it slowly mushed, and then it launched the whole thing forward, cascading oil all over my box. To this day, there's still oil dripping out of the pores of my box. It was absolutely horrible. And it's like it's still bleeding years later. Anyway, so my logic, like I was saying, which I hope is not flawed. This is the floor of the toolbox, but it is not the actual floor because there are some riffles here. You guys can see these right here. So what I'm going to do is I've measured to see where the center of those are. Now we're going to let this down. All right. The center is about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to drill a larger hole here and a larger hole here in all 4 corners. And that's the reason why I got this. So this is going to drill a hole, a larger one, and then I will drill a smaller one in the plate down below it. And then from there, we will use that and we will mount it. That's the plan. All right, here we go. We're going to see how this goes. Whew. All right, I did it. Excellent. One mistake that I didn't even think about was made. I drilled this hole right where the brace is, right here for the lower wheels. So I just went and drilled straight through the center of it. Same thing with over here. Made the correction in the rear, so I went off a little bit to the right, but all 4 holes. So all 4 of the big ones that will allow me access to the nut and bolt so I can tighten it. And the ones here on the very bottom, those right there, have been drilled. So now, next step, get this in place exactly where I want it. Look down below, approximately where these holes are to make sure there's no like brake lines or anything, or electrical. And then take tiny little pilot holes and drill a tiny little pilot hole for each location as I do one at a time. You don't want to drill all of them because it will shift. So the 3 that you drilled before the last one, they'll be off. So get it exactly where you want, inspect, drill, and then put a bolt in it to hold the place. Alrighty, we're at Ace Hardware because they have a better selection, so didn't want to go back to Lowe's. I have been lucky so far. I've got this one done, and I just finished that one. So this is the last one that I have to do right now. Oh yeah, and that's why I didn't take this off. I want to show you guys, this is how I'm in 2 places at the same time. I'm tightening it down below, and this is up here. And I'm just like really careful, so that holds it up here. So here we are, the last hole, 17 inches on center from there to there. And like I said, we've been lucky so far. And by lucky, I mean that we haven't encountered any internal frame parts to where I can't get to. Although, this might be very questionable. Oh crap, I think I spoke too soon. 17 inches is going to put us right in the center of this one. No. Oh boy. Dun, 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 dun. Oh no, 17 is going to put us right here. Balls. And there's no way to get anything in there to tighten it or any hardware or anything. Oh, it's interesting that this is cracked. Huh. Oh, I see. Somebody jacked it up here before and cracked it. Okay. Oh man, what do I do? I suppose we could re-drill the hole and just put it closer. That would be the best, easiest thing without altering the chassis or anything. I don't want to do that. Oh man, I don't want to drill another hole in my toolbox, but it looks like I'm going to have to. If we do 13 inches, it'll put us right here. So that's better than nothing, and it's better than being in the middle of the frame. All right, 13 inches. Let's make it so. Alrighty, well, there we go. All the drawers are in the box. The box is tied to the floor. It's not going anywhere. I had a couple ideas of how to stabilize it up here. One way was to take some flat bar and go from the pre-existing reinforced holes that used to have the handle, and either go from here to here with one continuous piece and then 90-degree it back here, or just do one from here to here 90 degrees. And I have, even though I picked up the stuff at Lowe's to do that, I have still decided not to do that. I don't have a metal brake. A metal brake is how you can like bend a piece of metal in like a nice near 90-degree angle. I don't have a vise to heat up the metal and then hammer an angle into it, which is a little bit more rustic. So I've decided to do this. There's anchor points right here on the vehicle. They are all right here on these nice thick pillars. There's one there on that nice thick pillar. There's one there. There's none in the center there, because that's the strongest point of the vehicle right there. This is not the strongest point of the vehicle. There's also one right there and right there. That's factory, that's original. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this long wire, this branded wire here, and I am going to, I've already started to do it. So I'm taking it from that hook over there. I have crimped that. It goes through this box, out the other side, and then doubles back. It's going to double back over to here. So that section over there doubles back to here. And then I have those buckles on it, the adjustable buckles, that I'm going to be able to tighten up both of these. The reason why I want it to tighten up on both of them is because once you get this corner over here, it's going to stop, most likely it's going to stop tightening up. I just want to snug it up, snug it and tighten it. I don't want to suck it to the wall. That sounds weird. I just want to like make sure it like maybe a little bit so it doesn't go this way. That's what I don't want to happen. So that's the way we're going to do it. Oh, and the reason why I've taken these in tandem like this, I think that's what it is, or crossed them right here, is because the pull from this is going to be more in this direction than it will be in this direction. So when this pulls, it's going to be pulling side to side more so than pulling back on the wall. All right. So we did it. We've got the box, the bottom of it mounted. Still can't drive anywhere yet because I haven't done this one yet, and there's still stuff all over. So I'm gonna turn the music back on and try to get some more progress. Well, my speaker just died, so you guys get to see some more of the build here. So these right here are actually for like wire terminals, like big heavy duty wire terminal crimps, like battery terminals. And I used that because I don't have anything to crimp these, so I used it to crimp this. I didn't have bits that were big enough to accommodate this, so I had to take off one bit, put it in sideways, and hold it there with my hands while I crimped this. But now that we have this, now I get to cut this off down here and install it, and hopefully it's the correct length. And there we go, look at that, nice clean cut. Yeet. So as I have already measured and explained, this one here, all right, there we go. Okay, whoo-wee. All right, so we're still kind of loose right now. I'm sorry, you guys are looking at the wall. So we are going to tighten these up just a little bit on each side. Alright, so there we go. Cross tandem for support, and I think we're good. Excellent. She's not going anywhere. Now that we've done this, one thing I have to make sure of is that before I start going somewhere, I have to lock it. The top locks, or the drawers lock in place once the top opens, or closes rather. This right here, I think I've showed it to you before. This right here is the button that locks all the drawers. So as long as this top is closed, I am safe on the top. But if I go around the corner and I don't lock this, all these drawers come out. So we don't want that. So, okay, what's next? This is next. This goes there.
Hey, Chibi Chibi. Hey, Chibi Chibi.
She's so flat. Whenever she's walking, she's like.
Hamster for dinner? Oh, she did grab a bunch, didn't she?
Yeah, look at her one cheek.
I still
Like,
got a
you can
whole
probably feel
another
them.
one.
Oh yeah, it's like full.
Wow.
Gross, feel that. It's hard.
You. You can feel all the individual seeds in her mouth. Or her pouch. Her pouch.
It's called my pouch. Or no, it's called my seed cheek. The seed cheek.
Alright.
I'm like a vacuum. Vroom, vroom.
So what does she do when she gets back to her little house? Does she like regurgitate them?
Well, it's just a skin pouch.
I know.
They stick them all in there, and as soon as she gets back where she wants them, she's like,
Look, I know how I work. Don't ask how I work. I work in ways you will never know.
Hamsters work in mysterious ways. On that note, I fell asleep after dinner.
"Yep."
So it's time to edit and go to bed. Right. Good night, guys. See you tomorrow.